Giant problems call for giant solutions. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 1141 of One Piece. And last we left off, the giant pirates, or at least specifically Dory and Broggy, have come to Egghead to assist in the battle. This was unexpected. The last we saw from them, they were with Shanks and them, helping out in that regard against, it was against Kid, I believe, right? And I didn't expect them to come back into the picture until Elbaf. Like, yeah, obviously they're going to come back during Elbaf. It just makes a lot of sense. But no, we're getting them here in Egghead. And so that's pretty cool. They're going to help fight. I believe I kind of talked about this last time, but the Giants are obviously on a completely different level. The Warriors of Elbaf are just a step above, like, pretty much any other pirates out there. With maybe, like, a few exceptions here and there, like Mihawk, obviously. Or Shanks, or Blackbeard, I would give you. But the Giants, like, are canonically, like, excessively strong. And that's kind of the point. You need to either be excessively strong yourself, or you need to have numbers in order to take them down. Or trickery, in the case of Mr. 3, taking them down in Little Garden. You can take them down if you're tricky enough. But since leaving Little Garden, you know Dory and Broggy have had plenty of time to train themselves up, to get themselves back into, like, peak shape, and probably even like a higher peak than they've ever been in. The fact that they're working alongside Shanks, like, yeah, Shanks has a lot of allies that aren't super strong, which is why he was protecting them in the first place during that part. But, like, Shanks is also going to surround himself with strong allies as well. He'll do both. And we know that the Giants are not pushovers by any means. And I'm sure once we actually get to Elbaf, we'll see exactly how strong they are. I'm sure we'll get, like, a really good feel for that, more than ever before. So, I'm very curious to see more of what they can do nowadays compared to back then. Because Dory and Broggy are, like, super memorable characters. Not only because they're the first Giants we meet, but they're just super likable, super interesting. They have great personalities, great nuance to them that, like, is built upon through their backstory and whatnot. And once we get to meet others who have, like, met them and worked with them, such as the Giants on Eni's Lobby. I can't think of their names at the moment. But we even get to learn more about them through stuff like that. And so, that's definitely going to help our crew escape Egghead. We know Vegapunk is going to die, Stella, to specify. And Lilith, based on what we're seeing, like, in the outro and stuff, might be the only Vegapunk to survive. So, I'm thinking, like, she'll probably escape with the Straw Hats. Which is gonna suck that she'll be the only one, but the ending does kind of hint at that. Of course, if that ends up being wrong, that would be pretty interesting, too. I don't want Atlas to die, you know? Atlas is my favorite. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see, like, how this continues to go down. Because, you know, Luffy and Gear 5th, the Giants, everyone fighting, like, Saturn, fighting Kizaru. It's like, Kizaru and Saturn are definitely, like, either on the level or stronger than the Giants. Kizaru, I think, is more on the level. Saturn, I think, is beyond it. Saturn is something special, and I don't even think we've seen Saturn trying yet. Because, like, he's one of the Gorosei. He has this mysterious power of, like, perfect healing that we can tell. On top of, you also have the aspect of that he is, you know, like a mythical Zoan from what we can tell. So he's got to be one of the strongest in the verse that we know of. Um, I would probably put him on the same level as Mihawk and Shanks. I would probably put all the Gorosei kind of right on that same level. I actually made a tier list of like what I believe the power scaling to be based on the evidence we've gotten. I don't remember exactly what level I had them all on. I could check real quick because that shouldn't be too far back on the Discord. I just have to scroll up to it. And that's the Devil Fruit ranking. Okay, here we are. Okay, so yeah, I put Emu at the top because from what we can tell, there is no one stronger than Emu right now. And then I had a list that I listed as like currently unbeatable by kind of like our main cast and whatnot. Or just the like general power level and everything. Yes. I do have Shanks and Mihawk both on here. And I have them like almost back to back with Ryuma kind of like bridging the gap between them. I do have the Gorosei underneath them though. I have the Gorosei underneath all of the main red-haired pirates. And like Dragon and everything. I think like Dragon is more than likely stronger than them as well. But I do have Dory and Broggy right under the Gorosei. But I think with Luffy and Gear 5th, with Dory and Broggy, and with only one of the Gorosei here, I think we'll be able to at least escape. I don't think we'd be able to necessarily beat him. But I'm also kind of thinking because he's the first Gorosei we're focusing on, Saturn is also probably the weakest of them. Based on everything we've gotten here, so I don't know for sure, like it's not 100% like set in stone or anything, but that's kind of where I'm like placing it right now. I don't think we're going to fully defeat Saturn. I think we're going to escape from Saturn. And Egghead in general. And Kizaru. Wait, where did I put Kizaru? I put the Admirals at the top of the tier right under that, the extreme power tier. So there, I don't even have them in the same tier as the Gorosei, which I think is valid. I don't think they're like as strong as the Gorosei or the red-haired pirates or the giants or anything. But they're definitely stronger than like Sabo and Luffy and Blackbeard. Okay. Anyway, um Bonnie has also now officially seen that Luffy is Nika and is kind of coming to terms with that, so that's going to be really interesting to like fully go into. And it's really funny because I just watched the like first episodes of Egghead again because Alicia X Life has just gotten to Egghead and her reactions. And it's really funny because at the beginning of the arc, Bonnie like says to Luffy, it's like, we're enemies. We're both the worst generation. I'll never be your ally. But thank you for helping me, you know. And now late into this arc, it's like, oh, Luffy is literally the person she's been waiting for her entire life. The person who she's been told by her father is like the salvation of the world and everything. It's like, ah. I think that that's completely changing here. I don't think they're going to be enemies any longer. I think they're going to be full allies. And I think I said this last time. I think, unlike with what happened with Law and Kid well, Law for a lot longer, but also Kid for Wano, I think it's going to be a full permanent allyship. Sort of like how Shanks has these like permanent allies, or Whitebeard had permanent allies. I don't think it's going to be like a temporary allyship like with Law. It's going to be a permanent one for multiple reasons. But the biggest thing being because of Luffy, being Nika, or, well, a reincarnation of Nika through the Devil Fruit. That alone will make Bonnie a permanent ally to him. And Kuma as well, though Kuma already would have been. We gotta figure out how we're going to, like, deal with Kuma. And speaking of, Bonnie apparently, because of her connection to Kuma, and because of Vegapunk's meddling, because it's a good thing that he meddled. I mean, we know that for a number of reasons now. But Bonnie actually has the highest priority control over the pacifistas, the Kuma pacifistas specifically. That's really fascinating to me. Mind you, the world government had already started to work on replacing them by having the Seraphim pacifistas created as sort of like a new pacifista model that would be modeled after, obviously, the former warlords, as well as, having the bloodline elements of King's people. I can't think of what they're called for the life of me right now, which is ridiculous because I should easily know what they're called. My mind is blanking. But yeah, the Lunarians. There we go. I got there. But having like the bloodline elements of the Lunarians, having artificial devil fruits that mimic the devil fruits of others, it's like the Seraphim are insane. They are absolutely insane. And they've already started to kind of replace the Kuma pacifistas. And with everything that's happened on Egghead now, and with the complete betrayal of Vegapunk, of the world government towards Vegapunk, I definitely feel like they're going to want to move like completely over. The problem is Vegapunk's the only one who can make them. So unless York does survive and sticks with the world government, they're not going to be able to continue making those, right? And I assume Bonnie doesn't have, like, top control over those ones, too. I assume it's just the Kuma ones. Because that's kind of what Vegapunk was saying, because of the connection there. He specifically put that into them. That is really fun, though, that Bonnie, of all people, has, like, the top command level for them. I'm just really curious as to where this continued fight and everything is going to go. I'm really curious as to how we're going to fully get out of this. And more than anything right now, I really, really, really want to see our heroes, the Straw Hats and everyone, meeting Broggy and Dory again here. Because, especially Usopp. I really need to see that right now. I hope we don't have to wait forever for that. I mean, they're coming into Egghead, so it's like, I assume it's not going to be long, even if it's not this episode specifically. Like, Luffy and the gang are gonna see them eventually. I really want to see that reuniting. Oh, it's gonna be so good, especially for Usopp. He idolizes them so much. They are his goal. They are absolutely his goal. In the same way that Kuina kind of represents Zoro's goal, since he was a child, the Giants and Elbaf in general represent Usopp's. Like that's his goal for becoming, like, a brave warrior of the sea. He wants to, well, since meeting them, he's wanted to emulate them, to be as strong as them, to be as much of a brave warrior as them. He looks up to them so much. And the Giants on Eni's lobby even gained a huge respect for him through working together. And I'm still trying to think of their names. I think it might be Kashi and Oimo. I don't think about their names as often as I do Broggy and Dory, because Broggy and Dory are, more important characters. But Kashi and Oimo, like, were part of their crew as well. And they've been shown again since their first appearances, too. They might have been there with Broggy and Dory with Shanks and all. It's possible. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm just very excited to see how this continues to go. So let's get into it and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we're back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Fucking Caribou. Caribou, since the start of the pre-time skip, has been one of those characters who's, like, so random and surprisingly really fucking funny. Like, every time he just appears, it's almost out of nowhere. Like, I remember when he reappeared in Wano, they're in the prison in Udon, and it's just panning over the crowd, and he's just there. Just no explanation, no warning. He's just there. And it's just like, it was such a, like, a wild, random shock. And now it's kind of happening again. It's like, apparently, Katarina Devon and Van Auger were here to do some recon on Saturn, which is very interesting for a number of reasons. But as they're leaving, we see Caribou suddenly come out of nowhere, and it's like, say he always looked up to and admired Blackbeard. Blackbeard is the reason he went out to sea in the first place. And he wants to be part of Blackbeard's crew. So the entire thing about trying to be part of Luffy's crew in New Shabandi was just a way for him to get closer to Blackbeard eventually, I guess. Okay. Why does he look up to it? Like, what is the reason? Maybe he knows about this supposed bloodline thing, because Saturn mentioned that, like, after Katarina said that Teach is special, Saturn is like, so is his bloodline. And it's like, what does that mean? Why are you giving us more secrets, Oda? What? We've been wondering about what the fucking deal with Blackbeard has been. There's so many mysteries surrounding him. Now, why are you adding this in? What do you mean, his bloodline? Is he a Buccaneer? Honestly, at this point, it wouldn't surprise me. Is Teach a Buccaneer? Is he something else? Is there another bloodline thing going on? Like, what am I supposed to think here? And I want to make very, very fucking clear. Do not tell me in the comments. I'm like going through this and talking about this and asking about it. I'm getting my thoughts out. I don't want spoilers. Do not spoil me. I've talked about it before, but I already know some things going forward, but not everything. And certain things I know don't have context behind them. So I want to try to avoid spoilers as much as I can. The One Piece community tries to like spoil everyone on everything, assuming that people like that everyone reads the manga and pays attention to all the leaks and everything as well. Because the instant a leak comes out, everyone's spoiling it on social media. So I've had to like really try to avoid shit, and it's not easy. But now there's this shit going on. It's like this I don't know about, so I don't know what's going on here. I don't fucking know. It's like Blackbeard is. I mean, obviously Blackbeard is special. Like that's not a surprise. Like we kind of already guessed that much. We just don't know. We never knew anyway in how he was special, but now apparently we know it's because of his bloodline. So whatever that fucking means, we know he's not a Lunarian, and Lunarians and like Buccaneers are like the two big ones that we know about that are like special bloodlines. So could he be a Buccaneer, or is it just something completely different? I don't fucking know. But meanwhile, we have the giant pirates coming in. Usopp did get to see them, which I'm so happy for. And they didn't reunite yet, but Usopp did see them coming in. Meanwhile, Bonnie and Luffy have been communicating. Luffy's teaching Bonnie how to throw a proper Nika punch. But Bonnie's not sticking around. She is heading out. Vegapunk is, in a near-death state. Somehow, I have no fucking clue how, Sanji kicked Light. Don't understand that one. But neither did they. Kizaru was like really fucking confused by it too, and Sanji's only explanation is the power of love. Okay. Sure. No, in all reality, it probably has to do with like, everything that was done to him by his father and all. Because we know, like, we thought during Whole Cake that it didn't stick, that he was born fully human. But in Wano, it revealed, oh no, that's just lies. No, Sanji's not a regular human after all. It just took a while for his programming and, all the physical manipulation done to his body, everything that was done to him. It just took a while for it to truly come out. And it's just like, I mentioned back then, like during that part of Wano, how much I really hate that, because I feel like it goes against like Sanji's entire like character arc throughout Whole Cake, about how he's he's better than his family because he's human, because he doesn't have like this manipulation done to him. Or like it didn't stick, and he was able to remain fully human, was able to remain like to keep those emotions and whatnot intact, was able to basically not deal with their bullshit. It was such a big point of his character in Whole Cake that he wasn't like them. And the idea is like kind of thrown around. It's like, oh, now that we know he is like them, it's like the idea is that he still maintains his humanity despite it and all. It's like, I get what you're trying to say, but it still takes away from his entire character arc in Whole Cake for me, because it's like it was so predicated on the fact that he wasn't like them, that the manipulation, that the pre-birth manipulation that they didn't stick. That was such an important integral part of his character. And it's just like kind of like reversing that. It just felt like a kick in the face, pun intended. I guess not really a pun, but you know what I mean. Joke intended. It felt like a kick in the face because it felt like it was going against everything that made Sanji so good during that arc. All the good developments and character work that like really improved upon Sanji's character during Whole Cake. It felt like it didn't matter as much. And so, yeah, this is probably related to that. The fact that he was able to kick away light like that to basically defy logic and all is probably, he's just like, literally built different. And yeah, I still don't like it. Because it doesn't feel natural either. It feels like this is like, you know what this feels like? It feels like Oda needed a way to make Sanji get stronger and couldn't think of it. It felt like he needed a way to improve Sanji's abilities, his strength, to keep him getting better and better, just like Zoro and the others are. But he couldn't think of any other way to do it without making him, enhanced. Zoro can get a new powerful sword, like he did with Enma. But Sanji, it's like he can't just get new legs. And so it feels like Oda just did this, just reversed this decision, purely as a way to make Sanji be able to grow further. By coming into his powers over time, he's going to continuously grow stronger and more powerful. And again, the idea is definitely going to be that he is going to maintain his humanity, his kindness. He's going to still be, a good person, everything, despite his father's meddling. That he's not going to let the fact that he is modified shape his humanity and shape his life in that way. And that's all well and good, but it doesn't change the fact that it reverses what all that good development and growth that he had in Whole Cake. And it's just, it bothers me. It irritates me. So, yeah. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I think it would have been better if it was Luffy who had interfered. And I mean, Oda has said that Sanji's one of his favorite characters before too, right? So maybe he's just trying to make Sanji look good here. Or, just have Sanji have something to do. Because otherwise, what's he gonna do? But it's like, I would have rather had Sanji, be one of the ones running away with everyone else. And have Luffy be the one interfering here. I think that would have been better and make more sense. I just don't realistically see Sanji is anywhere near the level of the admirals. So the idea that he could take on Kizaru to any degree, even kicking his light, it feels like you're bumping him up out of nowhere with no actual growth being done. It feels like unearned development. Because Let me bring up that power scaling chart I had. I should still have that up here. Yep, here it is. Because Sanji, I have listed under high power, because based off of everything we've seen, Sanji's not even on Zoro's level, which is obvious. But like he's not even the third strongest of the crew, because Jinbei is stronger than him. And that's just like blatant. Like I have Sanji under other characters like Sentomaru and Ashura Doji and Kid, Kobe, Alti, Law, Lucci, obviously Zoro, Yamato, so on and so forth. But it's like, if you're gonna suddenly just beef Sanji up to this level to where he can fucking kick light, it's like you're breaking kind of like the power scaling of things. Because it's like, what are you gonna do next? Have like Zoro be able to cut light? Because there's no way that Sanji's going to be stronger than Zoro. But if Sanji can suddenly kick Kizaru's light speed attacks, then he's stronger than Zoro. It's like, because Zoro can't do anything about that kind of thing. So it makes no sense. It feels like an out of nowhere bullshit excuse to make Sanji look cool. And it feels unearned. And I bet you, all the Sanji fanboys out there and fangirls who were bitching this entire arc about how Toei was making Sanji look are not going to acknowledge how cool Toei made Sanji look here. But I bet you anything that they are completely okay with this, because they already think that he's either as strong as Zoro or stronger. Even though they think he's stronger than Jinbei, which is bullshit, but, you know. It's crazy to me. Because it's like, this definitely feels like it was just Oda giving, like, a cool moment to Sanji without, like, even thinking about it. But the fact that, like, Kizaru and them even questioned it shows that there was thought behind it. And it's just bullshit. There's no reason that Sanji should have been able to do that. Like, not even, like, in an in-universe reason. I'm not just talking about, like, logical reasons, like, from our perspective as humans in the real world. There's not even an in-universe reason Sanji should have been able to do that. It's just dumb. And it's like, I want to make clear, I'm not like the biggest Sanji hater out there or anything. He is my least favorite of the crew. But there's a lot of other characters in this series that I hate a lot more than him. And like I said, like my biggest issue with Sanji comes down to his pervertedness, because he's basically like sexually assaulted women, and his dream devil fruit is literally his dream devil fruit because he wants the ability to sexually assault women. And yes, spying on women in the bath without their consent or knowledge is sexual assault, by the way. Like, peeping is absolutely sexual assault. The intent of watching someone naked without their consent or knowledge is sexual assault. And it's not even just that he's dreamed of doing this. He's literally done this in Wano, too. So it's like that is what I hate about Sanji. If he didn't have that quote unquote gag, he would be a good character, but that keeps me from like really liking him. But again, even despite that, he's not like my least favorite character in this series by any means. Because he does have enough good to him that it doesn't balance it out, but it at least helps a tiny bit. But this entire bullshit is just bullshit. It is not even slightly believable. It's not believable or realistic within the confines of this world's rules. And it's not like he's Luffy who can break the confines of this world's rules when in Gear 5th. Like Luffy grabbing a laser or something like that and twisting it and turning it or whatever, tying it like a shoelace, that would be understandable. Because Gear 5th can do shit like that. But this is Sanji we're talking about. Sanji can't do shit like that. That laser beam should have impaled him. Or at least sliced off his leg. It's just, it's stupid. It's so dumb. And it's like, there's certain things I can excuse with One Piece because it's One Piece, obviously. But it's just like, God, lag, suddenly. Jesus. Hello. For some reason the camera is lagging really hard right now. I apologize about that. Don't know what's going on there. Hello? Is it just my computer or... Because I'm not getting a note on OBS saying, like, encoding overload. Is it just OBS doing this? Great. It must just be my computer then. But either way, I think we're good at the moment. But yeah, I'm not going to rant forever about this. You get the gist. It's like, I don't believe it. I don't, like, buy into it at all. I feel like it's just stupid. It doesn't make him look cool. It breaks the rules of this world. In a very unsatisfying way. And if this wasn't in the manga, if this is like an anime only thing, then that's even worse. Because that means that it's probably in here because Toei wanted to make up for, like, people's complaints about what they were doing to Sanji and everything. These Sanji fans bitching about how Toei was handling them, handling him. It's like that would kind of imply that that's the only reason Toei would have added this in, and that also makes it stupid. It's like, let's not cater to just trying to appeal to those bitchy fans who just want to bitch about something and are coming up with reasons to do so. Okay, this is like getting really bad, this lag. I'm going to have to see what this is about. Luckily, this is pretty much the end of what I wanted to say anyway, so I'm going to have to check out whatever the fuck is causing this. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.